Most people believe life began right here. A warm pond, a bolt of lightning, a lucky chemical accident on early Earth. That is the story taught in almost every classroom. But a growing body of real science suggests something stranger. The building blocks of life may not have started on this planet at all. They may have arrived from somewhere else entirely. What if the ingredients for every living thing came from deep space? This idea is called panspermia. The word simply means seeds everywhere. It is not science fiction. It has been debated by serious scientists for over a century. The Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius first proposed a version of this idea in 1903. He suggested that microscopic life could drift between planets, carried by starlight and cosmic dust. At the time, most scientists dismissed it. Space seemed too harsh, too cold, too radioactive for anything to survive the journey. Then evidence started arriving, literally. In 1969, a meteorite fell near Murchison, Australia. Scientists cut it open expecting rock and dust. Instead, they found something extraordinary. The Murchison meteorite contained amino acids, the basic building blocks of proteins, and proteins are essential to every living cell. These were not contaminants from Earth. Many of the amino acids inside were forms rarely found in Earth biology at all. That single rock changed the conversation. If space rocks can carry the raw ingredients for life, then Earth may not have needed to invent those ingredients on its own. It may have simply received a shipment. Why does this matter so much? Because it reframes an entire origin story. Earth is not necessarily a lonely chemistry lab that got lucky. It may be one stop along a much larger cosmic supply chain, one that touches countless other worlds. The molecular biologist Francis Crick, who co-discovered the structure of DNA, took the idea even further. In 1973, working with chemist Leslie Orgel, Crick proposed something called directed panspermia. Their idea was bold. What if life did not just drift here by accident, but was deliberately sent, perhaps by an earlier civilization seeding the galaxy with microbial life? Crick later said he was not fully convinced by his own theory, but he raised it seriously enough to publish it in a scientific journal. That alone says something about how open the question really is. Around the same period, astronomer Fred Hoyle and mathematician Chandra Wickramasinghe pushed panspermia into the mainstream of astrophysics. They argued that comets are not just balls of ice. Comets may act as cosmic incubators, mixing organic molecules and shielding them from radiation for millions of years. When a comet strikes a young planet, it could deliver a payload of pre-life chemistry in a single violent impact. Picture that for a moment. A frozen traveler, older than the solar system's planets, carrying the seeds of biology across the void, waiting for one collision to start everything. Is that really so different from the aliens people imagine in movies? Here is the strange part. If panspermia is even partly correct, then every human being alive today is built from material that did not originate on Earth. Every strand of DNA, every cell, all descended, at least in part, from something that fell from space. That would make the true alien life question backwards. People search the sky for other beings. But the raw material for life on this planet may have come from that very sky. Now for the twist, because science rarely gives a clean, one-sided answer. Panspermia does not explain how life actually became life. It only explains how the ingredients might have arrived. Amino acids are not the same as a living cell. Getting from loose molecules to something that can grow, react, and reproduce is a separate, much harder problem, and scientists still do not fully understand how that leap happened here or anywhere else. Panspermia moves the mystery. It does not solve it. There is also no confirmed proof that anything in the Murchison meteorite or any other space rock was ever alive. The amino acids found so far are chemical building blocks, not organisms. Serious researchers are careful to separate life's ingredients traveled through space from life itself traveled through space. Those are two very different claims, and only the first one has strong evidence behind it right now. So the honest picture is this. Earth almost certainly received organic material from space, comets, meteorites, and cosmic dust over billions of years. Whether that material ever crossed the line into true, living biology before it arrived is still an open question, one that current instruments cannot fully answer. Missions like NASA's Stardust program have only added fuel to the idea, returning particles from a comet's tail that contained organic compounds similar to those needed for life. Each new sample brings the same unsettling implication. The line between from Earth and from space may be far blurrier than anyone assumed. Maybe that is the real reframing this idea offers. Not that beings from another world will someday arrive, but that, in a very real chemical sense, they may already be here, woven into the very structure of every living thing. Most people believe life began right here. The truth may be that it began somewhere else entirely, and simply finished the journey on Earth.